I want you to hear a conversation from Angela Levin and also from the Jeremy Vine show in the UK. This Angela Levin is a troll that has been trolling Prince Harry and Meghan for quite a long time. She's someone that apparently met Prince Harry for like an hour, then turned that meeting into a book. And since then, she's been cashing in on the fact that she was given an hour with Prince Harry. Now, Omis Kobi, as we know, said this about Levin a couple of months ago. He said this: I'll share what Kensington Palace officials told me at the time. Through Newsweek, Levin was given access to official engagements and chat with Harry for a 2017 cover. Then, without permission, she turned that material into a book. Harry was crushed and his team were furious. Now, this so-called carnival of so-called experts trolling Harry and Meghan like Angela Levin, obsessed over Prince Harry. This is, what they say today about Prince Harry about to release his memoir. This is it.
Prince Charles was unkind.
Family to earn money. So if they are as unkind and thoughtless as happened before, I think that they are perhaps rethinking it because.
Angela, do you think Princess Diana? Do you think Princess Diana was unkind when she spoke to the BBC's Panorama in the 90s? Do you think Prince Charles was unkind when he spoke to Jonathan Dillon?
I'm not talking about Prince Charles or Diana.
Why is Prince Harry unkind? Why is Prince Harry unkind doing the very same thing his parents did? Is my debate, my argument.
I spent a year and a quarter with Harry, so I know him very well. So I feel I can say something. I didn't spend time with
And Angela, this is it. You've written about Prince Harry. It's your point of view. Surely it's right then that the Prince writes something from his own point of view rather than...
Do you see how she can't even explain why it's okay for Prince Charles to talk about his experiences, his family? Why, it's wrong. Saying that it's wrong that Prince Harry wants to write a book to talk about his own personal experiences, and why Harry can't write a book about himself when the likes of Angela Levin are cashing in from the moment they were given access to Prince Harry to write about a 2017 cover. Then, without permission, she turned that material that she was given into a book. Harry was crushed and his team were furious with the actions of Angela Levin. Angela Levin is a troll. And someone will say that troll Angela Levin started and chatted with absolute nonsense and lies when asked why Prince Harry telling his account through his memoir is unkind when his parents did the exact same thing. Charles did the same thing. Diana did the same thing. And why, instead of a reporter writing about him, for him to write about himself, instead of a reporter writing about him, Harry should be the one who writes about himself. Let's end this. Let's end with how.
He didn't have to see me. He didn't have to invite me to join him on all sorts of engagements. He didn't have to invite me to Kensington Palace and sit and have a chat with me.
I'm so sorry, we have to leave it there. I'm sorry, Angela, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Sorry, just got to get to a break.
Angela Levin was given 5 minutes with Prince Harry. 5 minutes to write about, some sort of material for a 2017 cover. Instead, he turned that material that he was given from having access to Prince Harry for 5 minutes into a book. And since that day, she has been cashing in, calling herself a so-called royal expert on matters related to the royal family, a royal expert. Let me tell you something about Angela Levin. Let me tell you something about this person called Angela Levin. Angela Levin wrote a piece for the Daily Mail about how a mother, called her a devil. And I've said this before. These individuals targeting Prince Harry and Meghan, they're projecting their unhappy life, their unhappiness, the fact that they have had so much bad upbringings, the bad past, onto Prince Harry and Meghan. They are pissed that they are happy, and they themselves, inside them, they have something that is so evil inside of them. People like Angela Levin. The point that her mother must have seen the evilness inside of her. The evilness of Angela Levin. Now, members of the squad, this person has been trolling Meghan and even quoting, hate accounts targeted at Prince Harry and Meghan. And this same person called Angela Levin has been granted permission to also write a book about Camilla. Meaning, she's about to become, a so-called biographer for Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall. Which brings me to that question that I've always asked. What did Camilla do to Prince Harry and Meghan that normally this individual like Angela Levin have so much access to Camilla, the point that they're writing books about her? In exchange, what have they done for the so-called farm members themselves, like Camilla, Charles? What do they do for them? Is it trash Prince Harry and Meghan in exchange for having access to Camilla? Because that seems to be the case right now as we speak, members of the squad. Now, someone else said that, let me read you a couple of comments from members of the squad about this interview. 10 minutes of Harry's time. And someone said that, I know it's so very petty of me, but I wouldn't be mad if Prince Harry corrected that one time. If there's a smart way to do that without the clout of specifically naming her, then I'm for that too. But this lie she's telling perpetually is grating about Prince Harry and Meghan, day in, day out. And someone called Maria said that, what are these grifting so-called royal gossipers afraid of? That Harry's memoir may expose them as con artists? Is that it? And someone called Tamron said that, this made me chuckle, or how I wish. Apparently, Angela Levin also described herself as a journalist in that interview. Apparently, that's what Angela Levin called herself, a journalist. Angela Levin, you are not a journalist. You are a so-called carnival, a so-called expert. You bully, harass people for money. That's what Angela Levin does for money. She insults Meghan and quotes hate accounts in her Twitter account. That's what she does. As a matter of fact, she was one of the so-called carnival or so-called expert cited by Christopher Bowsey in his report about these hate accounts targeting Meghan. Angela Levin was part of that. So how can they call themselves journalists? She's not a journalist. She's a troll. She's a troll. And she's been trolling Prince Harry and Meghan for years now. She's been abusing them for years. I guess that her mother was very much right about Angela Levin. She was very right about her. She was very, very right about Angela Levin. So someone called Levy said this. So now she spent a year and a half with him and knows him well, after literally saying she only had 20 minutes with him, after begging time and time again to interview him. Someone needs to do a mashup of her lies about meeting Prince Harry. Indeed. This person, Angela Levin, is clearly not okay. I mean, these individuals, as you can see right now, they want so bad to be the ones controlling the narrative. They want so bad to be the ones who write books about Prince Harry and Meghan. They want to be the ones who cash in on Harry and Meghan. But they do not want Harry and Meghan to speak on their behalf from themselves. Why? Why wouldn't you want someone to speak up? I mean, if someone is writing a book about someone, I'd prefer to know that that book directly comes from Prince Harry. That book comes from Meghan, because I know it's from Meghan. It's her own words written by her. That book comes from Prince Harry. His own words written by him. I don't want a book written by a so-called carnival or so-called expert telling me all the truth, that he knows the truth about Prince Harry, that he knows everything about Prince Harry, that I know more about Prince Harry than Prince Harry knows about himself. That's just lies. If someone ever comes to you to tell you that I know more about Prince Harry than he knows more about himself, that's a lie. That's a lie. No, that person is a liar. Just know that person is a liar. You cannot know more about that person that you're writing a book about, and you only met that person for 10 minutes or an hour, And then you say that you know more about that person than he knows more about himself. Those are plain lies, members of the squad. Plain lies. And these individuals just believe that they own Prince Harry. That Prince Harry is theirs. It belongs to them. And clearly, the so-called carnival, the so-called experts like Angela Levin are not okay in the head. And someone called Lady Hate said that people have started to see her lies and double standards. Why do the media keep on speaking about the couple that they call irrelevant? Because they know they are the stars of the royal family. Please let her talk about the couple they are paying to represent the country. Oh no, substance. Very, very much true. Harry and Meghan left 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And they live in California, Santa Barbara. Harry is writing a memoir, and when it's ready, it will be released. When it's ready, it will be released. If it's not, then it won't be released. That's just it. And we are all waiting for Prince Harry's memoir. Every single person, even the so-called carnival, so-called experts, are waiting for Harry's memoir because they need content to write about. They want something to write about for the next, year. They need something to be able to pay, rent, to pay their rents with. They need money to pay their rents with. And someone called Maria said that Harry met with that liar for 15 minutes. For 15 minutes. That's the time that Harry met with that liar. For 15 minutes. And it was alleged that he was blindsided, members of the squad. I remember even a moment whereby Angela Levin complained that, she wanted to have access to Meghan. They were desperate for them to have access to Meghan. The carnival of so-called experts, the tabloids wanted access to Meghan. But Prince Harry said, no, my wife should not come anywhere near these types of individuals, the so-called carnival, so-called expert. He kept Meghan away from these people. And who did they blame for that? They blame Meghan for it. They bullied her, they trashed her because Meghan won't give them access to her life, because Harry won't wine and dine and invite them and make parties for them to get good press, because Harry won't leak lies about his wife for good press. And the media was very much pissed and very, very much angry. And she has made money from her lies. This Angela Levin, she has made money from her lies that she keeps on telling that she's Harry's biographer. That's what she calls herself on TV. I'm Prince Harry's biographer. That's what she calls herself on TV. And remember what Omid said about what he had learned. I'll share what Kensington Palace officials told me at the time through Newsweek. Levin was given access to official engagements and chat with Harry for a 2017 cover. Then, without permission, he turned that material into a book. Harry was crushed and his team were very much furious. That's the practices that we know the media engages in. They can't accept that their precious Harry wants nothing to do with them. They choose to blame it on Meghan because Harry and Meghan simply want nothing to do with them. And it's high time that they accept that Harry wants nothing to do with them, that Meghan wants nothing to do with them, and stop obsessing over Prince Harry and Meghan and their every move. Obsess over the people you pay money for. They pay more than £100 million to the royal family. And yet, even right now, they're still, these so-called carnival or so-called experts are not talking about William nor Kate. They're having a segment talking about Prince Harry's memoir. That's what they're talking about on the Jeremy Vine show in the UK, instead of focusing on the £100 million royals that they pay to smile and wave and sit at Wimbledon and get drunk. That's what they're doing. Remember what Cleo said? There's someone that acts like she's had 700 drinks, sitting at the royal box in the front row. And we all know exactly just who he was talking about. And someone even asked the question, is she happily married? Harry gave her 20 minutes of his time and she acts like her heart was broken. Truly, that's how this carnival so-called expert behave, like a heartbroken ex-girlfriend. Seriously, that's how they behave. Members of the squad, what do you think about all this? What do you think about this obsession over Prince Harry's memoir and the lies that the media are telling right now? This so-called Angela Levin, who wants to write about Harry, make money from talking about Prince Harry, but yet apparently she says that Prince Harry has no right to talk about, and write about his experiences because they want to be the ones to do that for him by spreading lies about Prince Harry and Meghan. And I sincerely hope that the time comes that Meghan also writes her own memoir. I sincerely hope. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and support Harry&Her family on YouTube. Stay tuned to our next video. Love family always and forever. Hello, members of Harry&Her Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Harry&Her Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.